Hi, I'm Brian Vibberts, mixing engineer. I've been making some presets for Antelope Audio. You're gonna love these. They're great for any style of music. I got presets for kicks, for drums, for guitars. They're things that really can make you get started in a mix very easily, very quickly, and these sound great, so you can't go wrong. The benefits for using presets is, for me, it makes my workflow faster. It may not be the perfect preset for every single song, but it gives me a great starting point that I can then tweak from there a little bit here and there to make it be, proper for that song. So it really cuts down my mixing time when I don't have to go through and do all the things that I might usually do as a starting point. So my workflow is faster, I get more done. So I've been working with the Antelope AFX, FPGA effects, and I've been making some presets for drums, for guitars, for vocals, a good starting point for your mixing. They all come free when you buy the hardware. Right now there's over 35 different pieces of gear between EQ and compressors, limiters, and there's being more added every month. The great thing about that is when new ones come out, you just do a firmware update, very simple, and you get more new gear for free. So it's a whole new way of doing these kind of effects, and I love that model. One of the other great things I love about the FPGA effects is that they're so clean and not much distortion that I can boost EQs such as the Pultec style or the Lang EQ. I can be pushing 10K or 12K like 10 or 15 dB and not have it be harsh. This is like unprecedented. This is really amazing technology, and to be able to do that in the mixes and not really get a harsh sound makes it very easy to get the sound that I want to get. If I want to push it that much, I can. I don't always have to, but I know that it's available if I want to. So a lot of great things with these effects. Since I first started listening to them to now, I use them in every mix that I do. And there's like classic EQs, there's classic compressors, limiters, and they really, really sound great. Some of them sound, I would say, even maybe better than the hardware, because the hardware, sometimes you get that hiss and noise that you don't really want. So you get all the benefits of like the great sound. I'm talking kind of like the RCA BA6A or the stay level type. Those really give that huge sound without the hiss of an analog chain. So for me, these are like amazing. Some people have asked me how I incorporate the Antelope audio effects into my mixing, with this being on a different computer than my Pro Tools. My Pro Tools is on an HD rig on a separate computer, and I run the control panel for the Orion HD on my laptop. So what I do is I open up a session on the Orion HD here that has all of the presets for that particular mix. So when you load it, you have the load over here, and it'll load all 16 channels of the mix. So I open up the Pro Tools session, I open up this session for the control panel, saved with the same name, artist, and title, and then I'm ready to go. It's that simple. So there's nothing else to it. As you see here, there's some mono channels, there's some that are stereo linked. All of that comes back, and in each channel, you see all the presets here as I go through. All 16 channels come back, and you can load all of these 16 channels with a single button. I've loaded all this as the Dr. Vib AFX presets. So I can delete everything and clear it, or I can change one thing at a time. It's very easy to maneuver, and like I say, to start this in the mix, I just open up the Pro Tools session, I open up this session, and I'm ready to go. Another thing that how I use this is I use these as hardware inserts. So that's how it comes up in the Pro Tools session as a hardware insert. And then, so when I open up the session, they automatically are communicating with the audio through this control panel. So for me, it took a little bit of getting used to, because most people are used to just opening up the Pro Tools session and that's it. It's one extra step, it's easy, and it's not an issue at all. I've been using Antelope audio since 2004 when I first did a test in the studio in LA here. I did the test between the best clock at the time, and I've just found with the Antelope sound, it was like bigger. I mean, I could tell right away. So it was one thing that I was like, okay, this is what I'm choosing, and I'm never going back. And I've stayed with Antelope ever since. The artists that I mix for have definitely heard a difference with what I'm getting out of the Antelope sound. But I mean, obviously I hear a difference here in the room. It makes things easier for me to make decisions mixing. Not only the artists, but the mastering engineers. When I've sent mixes to a mastering engineer, and the mastering engineer called me up and said, you know, what have you changed in your sound? Are you doing something different? That happened when I changed from the regular Orions to the Orion 32 HD. And the mastering engineer has no idea that I changed anything. So for them to hear it really shows me that it's a definite improvement in the sound. I would describe the Antelope audio sound as being very rich, a wide depth of field in the sound field, and the clarity is amazing from the low frequencies all the way to the high frequencies. It's a very precise sound, and in my mixes, that's what I want. I want the precise sounds and the panning in the sound field. So I really get that in the Antelope audio products, whether it's the conversion or the clocking. That is, to me, one of the most important things with the sound that I get using Antelope audio. I've been very happy with the Orions for years, and when the new HD line came out, the Orion 32 HD, I tried that out and compared the two, and I mean, it was a wider, fuller sound, like a very rich sound. I added it to the system. Actually, I didn't replace it, but I added it to the system. The conversion sounds so much better. I would recommend that to anyone. The sound is amazing. It makes your job easier as an engineer. If it's an artist who's doing engineering on their own, it also makes things clear to make decisions easier with different frequencies, with panning, with all of it. So I mean, I love the conversion of sound, and also the clocking. I would totally recommend Antelope Audio because I've used it since 2004 and I've used it ever since, and I totally believe in the product. I not only made presets to share with other users, I use these myself on records I mix every day.